Hey.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Popping.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, is this a new character?
Hello. How are ya?
Is that
Jimmy
a,
from down the block.
Jimmy from down
Jimmy.
the block?
I really like your show, guys. It's really
Wow,
cool.
Jimmy. How old are you, Jimmy? Are
I'm
you
72.
7? Wow, you're an
72
older.
years young.
You sound like you're 7.
Great voice.
Yeah, man. You know, I get it my whole life.
Wow, 72.
Yeah.
Jimmy from the block.
Chicks must love
Down
you.
the block.
Wow. Do you know
That-
Jenny from the block?
That's my wife,
Oh my God!
let's
Wow.
go.
So your wife's name is Jenny.
Jenny, and my son, Justin Bieber.
All right, now I know you're lying. Now I know
False.
you're lying. You're married to J Lo.
Flag
and your
on
son
play.
Justin
My
Bieber. Flag on
family.
play. Get out of here, Jimmy. You
Okay,
suck.
see you later.
Episode 36, BLAPCHAT. Atlas the plug is back.
Here, baby. I
He's
missed
back.
you guys.
At was away.
Mundo
is back.
This is back in the building. Yeah, I was
we
in
got-
Florida. Was loving
yeah.
it. Vacation. It's beautiful.
Yeah, tell the people about the experiences in the where were you, in the Western Keys? The
I was
Eastern
in
Keys?
I was in Siesta Keys.
Siesta Keys.
Yeah, I was in Siesta Keys. It's actually ranked the number 1 or number 2 nicest beach in America, which is
Wow.
a fact.
So what makes it so nice then?
Oh, I was there. No. The
Atlas's presence made it nice.
the beach, the sand, it's white sand.
Of course it is.
Actually, it's not even sand. There's another name for it. It almost looks like it feels like you're walking on flour.
Wow. Oh, like flour.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Like, white flour. And
amazing.
what the coolest thing is, the sand, well, the flour, whatever it is, it doesn't get hot.
So it's nice and cool.
So it's super cool.
wow.
The water is blue. The sun's shining. And at about 7:30 when the sun sets, it's so beautiful. It like sets right above the water. It's crazy, bro.
It's like paradise. Yeah.
Yeah,
paradise.
It felt like paradise. It was really, really dope. Had a great time. I actually linked up with some producers too.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. So you were out there vacationing.
Yeah.
And you did a little PSA and you
Yep.
linked up with a couple producers.
Yep.
So what was that
I put out the bat signal on social media, and I had let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. Actually, 3 ended up showing up, and super nice guys. I mean, guys had a lot of questions. Really good questions. They love BLAPCHAT.
Amazing. Well, shout to you guys,
yeah.
man.
Big
Shout to you guys.
Thomas. Let's see, it was Thomas, Milano, and who was the other one? Thomas, Milano. He's gonna kill me. I
I'm
can't
bad
remember
with
his name.
names, so I'm surprised you remember 2.
You got 2 out of
Thomas.
3.
That's good.
Milano. Anyway, sorry, the other person.
Yeah.
Whoever
Well,
it
shout
was.
to you guys
Yeah.
for showing up, linking up with Atlas out in Florida.
Yep.
And just for, checking us out, supporting the show, man.
Network.
Fucking with us, you know what I mean?
You're loving it.
Jael's in the building.
Jael,
Yo, what's
Again.
up? What's up?
Yeah.
Second
Here.
time here.
Second
Blessed.
time in a row,
Pray-
filling in for Glam.
Prayer hands.
Glam got a show tomorrow.
Yeah, she's
Glam has
gonna kill
a
it.
really dope show tomorrow.
big show too.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
really big show. So she couldn't make it. She's rehearsing right now. But
Shout out to Glam.
shout out to Glam, good lyrics and music, man.
Yes.
For those who don't know, she's an awesome artist.
Oh my god,
That's actually how we met.
she's
We
stupid.
told you guys how we met, but she's
Ballers.
just really great.
She's retarded.
she's amazing,
She
man.
produces it and she raps and she sings and she does everything.
She does everything, man. Perfection's on her way. She's coming.
be
She's
here.
coming from a session, so
Lit.
she's coming soon. But we here, man.
Yep.
Episode 36. Shout to Cameron Pasquale
Yes.
last week.
Dope
Yeah.
interview.
Dope interview, man.
Batman.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. I'm a Batman. Da-da-da-da. Shout to Gigs,
Crazy.
man. What a jam.
Yes.
That's a movie.
What a fucking movie.
Yep.
I'm seeing videos on Instagram, and it's just like the live videos of that are just fucking insane.
Damn, yo.
Insane.
He
What a
actually
what a
found
feeling.
out he got on more life because of the video.
Because of the video.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty insane. But shout to Cameron. I'm sure we'll be hearing much more of his music.
Oh yeah. He's
You
got a
know,
lot of stuff in
the
works.
stock has risen. And I think it's interesting because we were talking, I know you weren't here at, but we were talking about, what life is like after a moment like that, after getting like, a notable record on a Drake album.
Yep.
That people are talking about, and it's obviously a hit in the live show, and especially with gigs. It's like, what's life like? And really, it's just the grind doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
after that, you just have to work that much harder.
And everybody knows you from that, so then you have to,
Yeah,
do
like,
it again.
What is
Yeah.
he gonna do next? Like
But that's the gift and the curse,
Exactly.
because you're gonna have people that are gonna say, "Yo, we want another KMT. Can you give us a KMT?"
Yeah.
And so I think that's just, as a producer, you go through that stuff sometimes, and it's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. What do you think?
Did you? Oh, I think it's a blessing and a curse. I totally agree with that. Actually, I was going to ask you a question right before you asked me.
Please.
Have you ever gotten that? Have you ever gotten someone like, yo, can you give me that morning beat?
Yeah.
Can you give me that morning?
I've gotten the Love Yours thing.
Love
I've
Yours.
gotten that. I've gotten like the G-Unit stuff. I've gotten everything.
How does that, like, when someone says that to you, does it automatically, like, put a wall, or you're just like, oh, Jesus?
No, for me, it doesn't put up a wall. I actually just tune it out. Like,
Okay,
I
right.
completely ignore it. It's almost like they never said it to me. You know, it's
Right.
just like,
pointless.
because it doesn't make any sense
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
me at all. And like my mind is like way beyond like that. So it doesn't even really get to me.
It's like being a painter and you paint something like, and someone's like, yeah, give me the Michelangelo, or like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
that was just a time and a feeling and a place, and
Exactly.
you can't really replicate.
Exactly.
that,
Just
you
be
know?
unique. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, but speaking of replicating, I want to talk about this a little bit, and we kind of sprinkle this in like in other episodes, but I want to kind of talk a little bit about like the type beat thing, where J. Cole type beat, Drake type beat, and at first when we were talking about it, and I opened up Pandora's box on Twitter, and I started getting a lot of flack. Not flack, but like a lot of like
were talking about
disagreement,
it.
which I love. I mean,
Conversation.
we got to have this conversation about this stuff. At first, I was really firm with where I stand. I'm like super anti like Drake type beat or like 2 Chainz type beat, but I'm beginning to now understand why. And I think the reason why, and I want you guys' opinion on this, but I think the reason why is because a lot of rappers, that aren't original are looking for fill in the blank type beats.
Interesting.
And the whole Panda thing with Designer, I think kind of enhanced that notion and made it kind of okay. So now you have these producers that are saying, well, shit, I have like Drake type beats in the stash. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like copying other producers, but I do have stuff that would fit for those guys. And so maybe these upcoming rappers who are looking for these types of beats will find my beats and then they'll buy them for me and then I'm making money. So from a kind of a marketing standpoint, I understand it. But then it kind of filters into what I've said from the beginning about, selling beats at low price point in mass quantity is just gonna kind of become counterproductive eventually, or not. So I don't know. What do you guys think of the type beat?
I think you're a nice guy, Il. I still feel the same way about it. I don't like it. It's not original. Okay, it'll help your search engine optimization.
SEO.
All right, I get it. But it's not original. And to me, if you're gonna do music, you have to be original. You know what I mean? Like, I get the whole hustle, get your, $50 here, $30 here, 99 cents or whatever the hell you're selling it for. But, like we say, when you do that, it just becomes a transaction. And in fact, when the artists, most of the time, and I'm sure it happens all the time, most of the artists that buy these beats for $20, $50, whatever the small amount is, and they make a track to it, they like it, they record to it, they put good few hours into it or whatever, a whole day. The producer they bought it from doesn't even want to hear it.
They don't want to hear it.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Just sad.
They don't care. In fact, I know multiples, and we heard it in Past the Aux as well, where the producer sent it and the person actually wrote back, yeah, man, it's cool, but I don't listen to the tracks after I lease them. Like, he didn't care.
So there's producers that choose not to listen.
Yeah, they don't care.
Interesting.
Because they're not in it for the long haul. They don't have no sweat equity with the artist, right?
Exactly.
So why do they give a shit?
True.
They don't.
True.
They take the money and they run. They don't care because there's 10 other artists that have 20 artists, 50, 100, who knows, that have the same beat that person just bought. And
Right.
they're probably getting bombarded with those tracks too, and they're probably just sick of it to the point where they're just like, listen, I don't even care.
I don't even wanna listen
Just
to
take
it."
the beat and go. You know?
See, so that I think that kind of goes back to like Ryan Leslie's point, where selling a beat $50 here, $100 here. Maybe I make a 1-year salary. Maybe I make 6 figures from doing this. But it's better than cleaning a toilet.
Yeah.
And when you bring that argument into it, it makes some of that okay.
Yeah.
But then to dig even deeper, I think it also goes back to the conversation of what are you trying to ultimately accomplish?
What's your goal? Yeah.
What's
Right.
like the goal? I mean, anyone can, well, not anyone, but a lot of people can get a hustle up, do the type beats, do it full time, maybe make 50,000 a year, maybe make 100,000, maybe 200,000 a year, and you're doing it for a living, and you're making this money, and you're happy because all you do is make beats all day, and you do it for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. If that's the pathway to happiness, then so be it, right? But I think there's a demographic for it. I think there's people that want to do that and are okay with that. But again, I'm not in that class, and there's other people like me that aren't in that class. We're in the class of, well, I want to make amazing music. If I give you a beat, like, of course I want to hear it. In fact, I want to be in the studio with you
Yeah.
so that I can make you better.
Exactly.
So I can put my time and sweat equity, like you said, into you,
Right.
and so that we can grow together. It's just a different type of thinking, and I'm not saying that's better or worse. I'm just saying that, that's just a different approach. So, obviously, Alice, you fall in that category. You're for that. What do you think, JL?
I agree with your philosophy of if you want to do music, I feel like I do music because I want to be great.
Right.
So I want to be amongst Pharrell, Timbaland, Illmind, right? So if people, I guess people take that route where they want to do music because they need that income. And like Atlas tweeted or put on Instagram, talent will only take you so far. So yeah, you could be talented and get into short-term income, but if that's your goal, then you're not going to really go far because you're not networking and actually putting that sweat equity into it. But I have a question. Like, do you disagree with labeling the beats J. Cole type, Drake type, or do you disagree with making beats similar to those beats? Because I get like rappers are looking for that, like the non-original rappers are looking for that type of beat. But I guess if people say, "Oh, that's on the radio, that's hot," let me try to make something like that. But if they label it different, is it still okay?
Well, here's my opinion, and I know Alice has a strong
I'm
opinion on
ready,
this.
baby.
Alice is
I'm ready.
Oh, what's homeboy's name with the war?
From Feedback Friday.
From Feedback Friday. Damn.
Damn, I can't remember.
Damn, that shit was hilarious. But my thing about it is the minute that you do the title,
Okay.
right? The minute that you tweet or put on your SoundCloud or Instagram, the minute that you say Drake or fill in the blank type beat produced by, Super Hot, whatever, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I feel like the way you think is not of the greatness category. Because you kind of you immediately put yourself in a position where you're saying it's okay for you to not be amongst the elite, and you're basically saying that your style is not original.
Here's a
And
good,
I don't know, and in my category and the way I think, that's like super duper not okay.
It's whack.
Corny.
To me. If that's, but if you're of the other group of, let me just make money and do this, then that will probably work really well for you. But I do believe that if you are trying to be great or try to achieve greatness, and I'm not saying that making $100,000 isn't greatness. It's all about happiness. But
It's all about
if you're
perspective.
trying to be in that class, then when you do the type B thing, you're kind of throwing it out the window.
It's the wrong first step. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think? Okay, Atlas, go for it.
Okay,
Here we
here's
go.
the thing.
Budo.
If you're okay, again, I get the making the money thing, paying your rent. Okay, I get that side of things, right? But the way I look at producer, when I think of producer, I'm thinking of a brand. I'm thinking of an LLC. I'm thinking of a company, because you're selling something, right? A product to a consumer, right? So imagine being an artist, a singer, a rapper, what country singer, whatever, folk singer, pop, whatever. Being an artist and you're sending your tracks out to people and the track says, Ariana Grande type song. Kelly Clarkson type song. Now, if you're a songwriter and you're looking for get placements, I get that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kind of. But even
right.
then, you need a title of the song, because what's the title of this? You know what I mean? So
right.
If you're going to be a producer, and these are the producers that are trying to brand themselves and get themselves out there, to me, once I see this insert artist type beat, I'll be honest, I'm probably not even going to listen to it.
Right.
I probably just and just go to the next one, because there's no originality.
You're a copycat.
Yeah, I want someone who's different. I want someone that sounds different. I want to hear it and go, oh wow, I haven't heard this before. Right. The Drake thing is great. I'm a huge fan of Drake. He's amazing. He's killing it. I think he's super talented. But someone else is going to come along who's going to sound different, and make a name for themselves. And the Drake thing, I think he has a long career. He's going to be fine. But you need to be unique, and you need to be different, and you need to be a brand. Let's talk about sneakers, right?
Right.
If you're doing sneakers, right, and you go to Nike, and you like Adidas, like we were talking about the sneakers we love.
Yeezus type sneaker.
Yeah, if you're looking for if you're going to Nike and you see a sneaker and it's the Yeezus type sneaker.
Yeah,
you're gonna be like,
you're automatically put in a category.
You're
corny.
Put
in a category.
It's so corny.
You know what I mean? So for me, I'm very strongly believed in being unique.
Yeah,
and being different.
So can you be unique? Here's the question: can you be unique but also sell beats to independent rappers and really make that lucrative for you? Or do we have enough data to know that most upcoming artists are looking for type beats?
Here's the thing.
What's the data like?
Good question.
Here's the thing. I'm not against independent. I'm not against upcoming selling beats. I'm not against that. I'm against leasing your beats for 99 cents, 50 cents, $20. I believe, in my opinion, if you're an up-and-comer, this is just, and people are going to think I'm crazy, and I'm probably going to hear a little bit about this, but in my opinion, if you're up-and-coming, you should not be selling, and you think your stuff's good, you should not be selling your beats for anything less than $500 for an up-and-comer, in my opinion, because you're setting the status quo for people. You're letting them know, listen, $500 in major placements, that's shit money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's nothing.
It's nothing. They sell tracks for 10 racks, whatever, 15. They're not going back in the day, 100K, 200K,
right.
Not anymore. Now you're looking anywhere from 10, 15, whatever, right? So if you're not on a major label and you're listen, everyone was up and coming at one time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every single person. So I'm not I love up and comers. I like finding the dopest up and coming producers or artists, right? So I'm not against selling beats to up and comers. I just think if you're doing it and you think and your stuff is good, this is not someone who just makes I
was about to say that.
Yeah,
no matter how good you are.
Atlas said, sell it for 500. So no, you have to be dope.
You have to have a fan base, a small.
You don't have to have a fan base. You just have to be dope.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Similar to producers, that I've managed, they didn't start with anything. Now they're starting to grow, but they just had no followings. You know what I'm saying? But I heard it and I was amazed. You know what I mean? So if you're dope and you're starting to come up, in my opinion, you shouldn't sell beats for any less than $500. And it's funny because, some of the producers I manage, I remember when I don't want to put their name out there, but one of the producers I managed.
Just say Joe Schmo.
Joe
Call him
Schmo, right?
Just Schmo.
When I first started managing them, I told them, I said, look, we're now going forward. Now that you're working with me, I'm not selling your beats for anything less than 500. They thought I was crazy
Because it was too much?
Yeah.
Wow.
But guess what? In like the first week, I got one sold. 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not going to say I got one sold. They put out the track.
Right.
They put the work in. And then when someone reaches out to me, they talk to me. And then I'll negotiate whatever the rate is. But 500.
500.
It shouldn't be any less if you're dope and you're up and coming, in my opinion.
Perfection's here.
Sorry, I'm late.
All good. I know you had the
It's a
session.
busy day.
Busy day sessions and all that stuff. Engine room, all that good stuff. We were just talking about. Well, I want to talk about beat pricing next, but we were talking about
Type beats.
Drake type beat, and you know the pros and cons.
Right.
And I think I think at the end of the day, it's just a choice. It's a personal choice, guys. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but it will probably affect you and your reputation if you continue to do it, and if you're trying to become an elite.
If you want to be great,
Producer.
be original. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And listen, there's no proof of that. There's no data of that. There hasn't been a success story of a producer that was doing type beats, and then became, a Metro Boomin or a Timbaland or a Swizz Beat. That hasn't happened yet, and I'm championing you guys to maybe make someone to break out and make that happen.
It's not going to happen.
But as of right now, it hasn't.
It's not happening.
And in my gut is telling me that it will be very difficult. So that's where I stand, but I'm not saying it's wrong. Okay, get your money. Of course, it's better than cleaning toilets.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just like what Arles said. But there's levels to this shit, But I want to talk about beat pricing,
Yes.
right? So Alice was saying that you shouldn't sell a beat under 500, regardless if you're upcomer or whatever. But what about the 2-for-1s? What about, the guy that wants like 2 beats for 300?
Listen.
300 is better than 0.
Listen, you want 2 for 1, then buy 2, and instead of it being 1,000, it'll be 900.
Yeah.
Oh, even better. Even better.
I love
guys.
your face is classic.
Or even better. 899.
Yeah.
$8.99.
Sounds better.
Well, Alice is a salesman, for those who don't know. He literally is.
Yeah, he has a background in sales.
Yeah, he has a very huge background in sales. Huge.
Huge.
It's crazy.
Forget it.
Mundo.
Beats.
So yeah, less than 500. From when I was selling beats, I was all over the place. My first beat I sold was like $100. I've gotten beats for 50. But 500 was a sweet spot. I'm not gonna lie, for me.
People do it based on minimum wage.
When
type.
did you decide to up the price to 500?
People was
When I
fucking
worked,
with your shit.
yeah, when like people were fucking with me and like people started coming to me like, yo, ill, I heard blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I want beats from you. And then from there, I was like, okay, there's something I'm doing here.
My brand has value.
My brand has value. They want me. They want my name attached to it. So then I up my price. I think like when I stopped selling beats, the last time I stopped selling beats, I think I capped off at like probably $2,500 for a beat.
Okay. Not
You know,
bad. Not
yeah,
bad.
Let's
yeah,
go.
and listen, guys, it felt great, and I know how addicting it can get. Like you get money, PayPal account is crazy, like
Right.
Western Union, whatever it is.
Quick 25 for one beat. That's like your rent. And
for some shit I did like in 30 minutes, 15 minutes. That's dope, and it
You
feels
making
great.
tons of those.
Yeah, it feels great, but you get to the point where you're doing it. It's like being a server or bartender, right? The money's great,
Right.
and I love what I do. I'm feeling great, but why can I not get these placements? I want to be on big albums. I want respect. I want to develop artists, but I'm busy selling all my beats to independent rappers. I'm making money though. I got my little Jesus piece.
The outfit is popping.
My
Jesus piece.
outfit is popping. You know, I'm paying $700 a month to lease my car.
Crazy gear.
You know, my gear is crazy. Whatever, I'm paying my rent, but I feel stuck. And again, there's no proof of people necessarily breaking out of that, and I want to see that. Maybe there's a few exceptions.
Might be a few, but again, because I don't think the people will break out of it because they're not breaking into anything. You're being someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
You're being someone else the whole time. You're living through someone else. So you can't break through and be you because you're trying to be that style beat or whatever.
Right.
You can't beat the person that made that style.
That's what
'cause
I'm
they
saying.
invented that style.
And that beat was probably made a year or two ago. So imagine
Right.
where they're on now, the wave they're on.
You're already
The
late.
stuff you hear on the radio most of the time has the track. I mean, not necessarily the writing of the lyrics,
The
and stuff.
production.
I mean, the production most of the time, in most cases, it can be up to a year, 2, 3, 4
Right.
years old.
What about the middle ground? What do you think? Perfection? Like, is there a middle ground? Can you sell beats for 500 here, 1,000, 200 here, but still grind out and like network and like get major placements and like formulate relationships? Do you think you're spreading yourself thin doing that way, or do you think it's possible?
I think it's possible. I think it depends on where your focus is at mainly.
Right.
Because like if you like Ryan said, if you're still trying to make a living off of selling your beats, that's great. But if you're focused on getting placements, your energy should be towards that. There's nothing wrong with focusing on getting placements if you have or whatever, and still getting money until the bigger bag comes.
True.
You know
True.
what I mean? So I think you can do both. It just depends on your focus. I think if you have, a bigger picture in mind, you should focus on that, but you shouldn't, let money go.
Yeah.
If it's coming, know.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a good price point, like $500 to $1,000. That's money that, a lot of people aren't getting,
Yeah,
and might not
exactly.
necessarily be easy for certain people to get. So there's nothing wrong with getting that money, but see the bigger picture too and focus on that.
Right. And that's my whole point. It's like you really have to put a lot of time and work in because, if you're making, let's just say, what would you guys consider a good amount of beats per day to like make? We'll just say 3. That's a lot.
Minimum.
That's 15.
That is.
Minimum
That's
3.
15. That's a lot. 15 beats in a week. So if you make 15 beats a week, right, and you're selling, your goal is to sell 10 or 5 and then shop the other 10 to like majors and try to get placements that way. I can kind of see it maybe work, but again, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. It's like SJ, SJ.
Yeah, Sarah J.
Sarah
she's
James.
manager, right?
Yeah. So she wrote something on Twitter. I can't remember the exact number, but she's like that she doesn't like when she hears producers say things like, I'm making 10 beats a day. Because she's like, focus on 1, 2, or 3 and make those good.
Right.
You know what I
So
mean?
like put more time into it.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
That's another, but then there's also the question of like the Panda beat was made in 15 minutes, So
Right.
then and it's like diamond record, but then again, it's an anomaly.
Do you feel like that's with experience though?
I just think that was an anomaly. I look at that like Big Sean rapping to Kanye.
Yeah.
But if I rapped or if anyone rapped to Kanye, they wouldn't. It
Yeah.
probably wouldn't happen, right?
It's
So
rare. It's super
you have you have these anomalies that happen every so often, but you can't bank on them.
Yeah, because I was having that conversation with one of my boys, Big Len, who actually
shout out to Big
submitted,
Len.
and we're always working. He's dope, man. Like
Yeah.
I love collaborating with him because I can take some of his ideas and
Oh, yeah.
incorporate it with mine, and we do good shit.
Yeah.
So we were having that conversation in the studio the other day about people saying that they make 10 beats a day or 20 beats a day, and people saying that they make it in 15 minutes, and kind of like what you just said as far as like those getting placed. I asked him, like, do you think it's with experience, though? Because, for instance, like someone like you or someone like Zaytoven or someone that's been doing this for years, you can do a beat in 15 minutes
Right.
and that shit could fucking get placed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus someone else who's still learning and is knocking out 10, 15 beats a day, and they're not necessarily of quality to
Right.
get placed.
Right.
So do you think that has to do more so with experience or?
I think it's part experience. I think it's just like some people have this magic touch. You know what I mean? It's just like flowing in them. And I think that when you're approaching like quantity over quality, when you're making beats, I look at that like punching a punching bag. You're just basically in training mode. It's
practice.
And I was doing that too. Like
You said
when-
quantity over
quality. So like when you're making 10 beats a day, you know, you're obviously just like knocking them out. And I used to be that way, you know? So I know what it feels like when you're just like, you have so many ideas and you just want to do another one. And like for every 10 that you make, maybe like 1 or 2 are like really good. Or if your batting average is high, maybe all 10 are good. Who knows? Everyone's different. But I think I think it's a good thing because it's practice. It's a way to get better.
Right.
But then when you get through, all producers go through this phase. When you get through the phase of like 1 million beats in one day, then you start to enter the phase of, okay, now I need to like, I actually like have to put more work into a song because now I'm working with vocalists. And then, now I'm like doing, instead of like 8-bar loop trap beats that take me 10 minutes, I'm producing pop music or I'm producing hit records with singers. Now I need bridges.
And
now
arrangement and all.
I need arrangement. Now I need intro, verse, pre-hook, hook. I need change-ups. I need layering. I need live musicians. You're not doing that in 15 minutes. It'll take you 15 minutes to get the guitars to sound right. That'll take you 15 minutes. So there's levels. You know what I mean? It really depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to just make 15-minute beats for the rest of your life, be my guest. But when you're trying to really like get to that level, this shit takes a long time.
Yeah.
You know what
sure.
I think? I think you should put a certain, as a producer or even an artist, let's just say, or producer, you should put a certain amount of time dedicated to whatever craft you're doing, right? So if it's an hour a day, 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 2.5, whatever your schedule allows you, or per week, or however you know, people have kids, they have wives, they have family issues. There's a lot of things that go on. So not everyone can do it every single day. But if you have a certain amount of set time that you're putting aside weekly, then during that time, I don't think it should be a set number. Like, I'm doing 15 beats today. I'm doing 3 beats today. I'm doing 1 beat today. I think you should set your time. Let's say it's 3 hours. If you can go in and knock out one fully, not an 8-bar loop, guys. I'm talking about what Il said, you know, intro, you know, verse, pre-hook, hook, songs. If you do 1 and it's quality, great.
Right.
If you do 3, great, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's less about how many beats. That's what I think people should focus on. It's not
Quality
how many,
over quantity.
Yeah, it's not how many beats you're doing in one day. It's like, okay, I have a set amount of time. What can I do in that amount of time? If you're working on the track, it's going well, but then you're just, I don't know, you're just not really feeling it, then move on to something else.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah, save it and listen to it another day.
Yeah, save it and then start the next one. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, maybe you don't finish 3 full tracks. Maybe you have like 2 really, really good ideas that the next time you're back in, then during your set hourly time per week or whenever you get in there, then you can either go back and make those great or start something new. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe send the ones that you started that maybe you got stuck on, send them to your producer homie.
Right.
You know, and be like, yo, I got this template.
Yeah.
I think it's really dope. Let me just fuck with it. You know, let me know what you can do.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's difficult to man, 15 beats a day, even 3 beats a day. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Like
That's
if you're-
enough.
I think if you do 1 solid beat a day, you're good.
Yeah.
progress.
I can
You know what
agree
I'm
with all
saying?
that because it's like when you think about it and we talk similar to what you guys were just saying, a trap beat or whatever, 8-bar loop, it's easy to do that.
Yeah.
It's easy to come up with a melody and put a drum, you know, put the drums there, put a kick, put a snare, put a hi-hat, another percussion, like, and then just loop it. Like, you can do that 15 times if that's all you're doing, but like quality over quantity. Because does that sound good? Does that sonically sound good? And kind of like you were saying, sound design. You mentioned something on Twitter the other day where like, you know, you can manipulate a sound so much and you can do so much with sounds because the ways you can manipulate it. So if you're not kind of like learning those things to make your music sound different and you're just doing 8-bar loops and moving on to the next, it's kind of like,
And that goes back to originality. Like, people love llmind beats because of the texture.
yeah.
Like, it doesn't sound like any other beat because it's warm and there's a certain texture to it that people keep coming back to. So if you're not spending time with just maybe like texture or sound design, like she's saying, like, you're going to sound like every other 8-bar loop producer.
Yeah.
And you're not standing out.
Yeah, and what can an artist really do with an 8-bar loop? Listen, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Primo did 4-bar loops and they were fire and
Right.
it got hits. So you can do
Yeah.
it. But what I'm saying is like 8-bar loops.
I
like,
think it depends. It just depends.
Yeah,
but
because you
you're
can
right.
come up with a hook.
Yeah.
With listening to 8-bar loop, or
It
a writer
depends.
can get an idea, and then you can build off that.
But-
no.
But-
If the 8-bar loop is progressing the whole way,
Mm-hmm.
like the first 2 bars of this, and then they add a texture on the next 2 bar or the 4-bar, and then they add a texture, and it's like building. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But if it's just basically a 4-bar loop, just like doubled, and it's just like 8 bars, the same thing, it's like
Right.
I don't. In my opinion. If a writer's gonna write to it, they want to feel like when the chorus is. And
I think the
verse.
point is to diversify.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna listen, guys. All you guys producing right now, you're gonna reach a point where that thing you keep doing over and over again is you're gonna get bored.
Yeah.
And when you get bored, you're gonna want to branch out and try something else. And the first few times you do that other thing, it's gonna suck. But you're gonna get better at it, and then you master that, and then you're like, "Fuck, I'm bored again. Let me try some other shit." And I'm a true firm believer that as a music producer, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice by not exploring other textures. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with like if you love trap music and you just want to produce trap, go for it. I'm not saying that's wrong. All I'm saying is there's butter pecan ice cream is really good, but chocolate's good too.
Rocky Road is
Pause.
amazing.
Rocky Road is amazing. Ever try vegan pistachio?
Nah.
Fucking bomb.
Is
Whoa.
it?
Yeah.
Learn
Hell
something
yeah.
new.
You know? So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's other colors.
You
And
never
like,
know where you get inspiration from.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. I think when you diversify yourself that way, not only are you increasing your chances of success, but you're now becoming good at something else that can be applied somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's like if you're I'll give you an example. If you're like a really, really good trap producer and you make amazing trap beats, I'm talking like amazing, right? But then you get a phone call from like Taylor Swift saying, "Hey, let's compose a guitar acoustic together." Are you prepared to do that?
Right.
Yep.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
And if you were prepared, that's an opportunity for you. So that's all I'm saying is the more you can do, I think the more
Just be well-rounded.
opportunity you have.
And learn. Like you have the internet and YouTube, and I know a lot of you guys do that, but like some people don't. They just kind of they'll get the software and then they'll just kind of go at it. That's like someone who like gets a guitar and like they never take lessons and they don't even know what the major scale is, or they don't know what an A major is or a B or whatever, and they play it and like the guitar is always a little out of tune, right? And they think they're getting better, but they're playing like the same things, and like they might sound a little bit better, but dude, if you just took a lesson,
Right.
or like you linked with someone who really, really knew how to do it and they showed you a couple of things and you went home and practiced that, then you'll get better.
That's
know
why
what I'm
it's
saying?
important to just keep learning.
Collaborate.
Yeah.
Collaborate and learn,
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, diversifying is good.
be
but
well-rounded.
At the end of the day, it's like, make what you want to make, though. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
whatever you're into. Like, if you're not into pop music, then don't fuck with it.
Right.
Because you're never going to be good at it if you don't like it.
But that's a good. That brings up a good question. Do you think, as a music producer, well, you should be extremely versatile, but do you think it's important? Like you just said, don't like if you're good at making trap beats or you're good at making hip hop beats, should you just stick to that, or are you doing yourself a disservice by not venturing out to be able to produce for Taylor Swift?
Well, I think yes, you are doing yourself a disservice in terms of the amounts of opportunities that you can take advantage of. That being said, if producing a guitar medley with Taylor Swift doesn't bring you happiness, then don't do it.
Right.
You know, so like I think it's just a matter of like what you want to do. Honestly, like if you just want to focus on one style of music and that's your thing, like go for it, like own it. You
Right.
know. Because that you're gonna just make the music you want to make. I definitely wouldn't venture out if you're not interested in, or if you're not inspired to do it,
Or curious.
or curious. Yeah, I mean, if you're curious, you might as well try it. You might like it, you might hate it, but it's worth a try, you know. But if you don't like to do something and you're trying to compose like a country, composition, but you're like
Right.
not into it and it's not exciting
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you, then like just don't do it. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that because you just want to do what feels right for you.
Shouldn't
I
feel
would say.
forced.
It shouldn't feel forced. But I will say that the people who are curious and the people who actually like go out there and venture and they love it and they love different genres, like I guarantee you those guys are going to be getting more opportunities.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. What do you guys think of that?
For
Think
sure.
it's true?
I think I hate to keep going back to the sales thing, but you know, whenever you're selling something, regardless of what it is, I've sold everything in the world, but whatever I was selling, I really, really studied it. I knew it in and out. I knew everything about it. You couldn't tell me. I mean, I can always learn. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I studied. I knew all the rules, everything you could even know. And that's what made me a good salesperson because I could rebuttal whatever you
knew your
say.
product.
Right.
I could rebuttal those, and you will believe me and buy it before you leave. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying? So I feel that's the same thing with producers. It's like if you're using Fruity Loops, using Pro Tools, you're using MPC, machine, whatever you're using. If you're a guitar player, whatever, you better know that sucker in and out and
Right.
everything about it, or as much as you can, and just keep learning every single day. So then that way, you know, it's just knowing your craft. You know what I'm saying? So I think know your craft and just being around people that, I don't want to say that are better than you, but people that are better than you.
people that are better.
You know what
that
I'm
can
saying?
show you new things.
Yeah.
that can guide
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, you know, and so that's where I'm at with it, you know?
Yeah. I think
like
having
that.
people around you that, you know, like you said, maybe I think the word better is not necessarily what you were
Right.
trying to go for,
Right.
but, you know, that have been there and done that and have
Experience.
experience.
There you go. That's
You know,
the
I
word, yeah.
have a bunch of people around me like that, including you guys. And, you know, that only takes you further.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Because if, like, and you know what's so funny? This just reminded me of something. I saw Gary Vee yesterday.
No
That's
way.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yo.
Get out of here.
Swear to God.
Where? How? When? Shout to Gary Vee.
Shout out to fucking
We
Gary
love
Vee.
you on this show.
Legend.
Oh, he's the man.
It's crazy.
South Street Seaport.
Wow. Just randomly?
Yeah.
Was he filming?
No, so me and my guy were in the car. We
Mm-hmm.
were like gonna meet someone that he knew, whatever. So we were waiting for the person, and you know, we're in the car, and I'm on the passenger seat, and then I just see this guy walk by, and I see like his side profile, and I'm like, oh shit, Gary Vee.
That's crazy.
And my guy's like, oh shit, I'm about to go and say what's up to him.
Yeah.
And he got out and like shook his hand and said what's up. He was on a phone call, so we kept it like
Oh,
very
okay.
brief. But
Right.
he was nice enough to stop his
Right.
phone call and say hi.
Nice.
And, you know, I got out the car and I said hi. I wanted to
course.
mention something to him. but
Oh,
I was
yeah, no,
It'll be
not-
too forward.
Yeah.
and
Right.
you know, you gotta know
Yeah.
when to and when to
Yeah.
not. So I just said hi.
Tact right there.
Yeah, I said hi, and then, you know, whatever. And then when he got off the call and he was walking by, he waved by, and I thought that was like super cool.
Good guy.
Because you know what I mean. But like,
Gary Vee.
Now
yeah,
I love
like-
him even more. Jesus.
yeah, like, but like, you know, that just reminds me of like what he said and what a lot of people have said is like, look at the 5 people around you.
Yeah.
Like who are the, you know, the people that are around you. So it's like, if you're still learning, but you have people that kind of like are
Not as passionate.
not as passionate or not as experienced even where you are, what are you learning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you learning?
It's like
Yeah.
when your parents say you are who you know, like
Who you hang
are
out
who you
with,
hang out
yeah.
with, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's true.
Or like when they say try to be the dumbest person in the room.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's what I'm
true.
saying. Yeah.
That's so true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to use that kind of word, but if everybody else around you is dumber than you, then like,
You're
and
not
you're
growing.
still learning, how
Yeah.
are you growing?
Yeah.
If there's no one that's kind of showing you the way,
Yeah.
in a sense, you know what I
Facts.
mean?
Facts.
Hashtag
All
facts.
facts. Shout out to Gary Vee, though.
Shout to Gary Vee. We're getting him on this fucking show.
Yeah, we
I'm
are.
putting
Have
that
to.
out in the universe.
It's happening.
We have to.
I'm putting that out there. Gary Vee, we are getting you on this show. Damn it.
God damn it.
God damn it. Speaking of being dumbest person in the room, I feel like I felt very dumb before I read this book. I wanna reference this book because I'm currently reading it right now, and it's written by a guy named Jonah Berger. Okay, he's a marketing professor at Wharton School at the University of PA. He's wrote a couple books, but the name of the book is called Contagious: Why Things Catch On. By Jonah Berger. It's a New York Times bestseller. And so I'm like at the beginning stages of the book, but it's interesting because it talks about, we're going to quote this book in a minute, but it talks about why things catch on and why information spreads. And I think that's very relevant to what we do. I think it's relevant to a rapper, a singer, a clothing brand, sneaker brand, producer, anything that you wish to become viral or catch on and become popular, he kind of like has the keys. DJ Khaled, major key
Major
in this
key.
book. And I'm going to continue to reference this book as I'm finishing reading it. But I want to reference this chapter that I'm on, and it talks about how, you know, there's this like kind of study on why things catch on and become viral. And there's a reason behind it. And a lot of them are, again, they're anomalies. You know, there's different reasons why things catch on. But he did a study, and there's actually 6 things, right, that every single thing that has become viral and popular, they all possess 6 things.
Nice.
Just 6 things.
So excited to hear this.
6.
Yeah. 6. 6. James Harden. Contagious.
Christina.
6 things. Christina, go to your room. She's so abusive. Now I want to get into this.
Let's do
Okay, you
it.
guys want to get into this shit?
Hell yeah.
Yes,
Shit is
please.
fucking lit. All right. So basically the keys are what is this called? You know when you do letters and then they stand for like words. What is
Acronym?
that? Acronym. So the acronym is actually STEPS. STEPPS.
Steps to success.
So we're talking about why things catch on, why things become viral. So it's 6 different things. The first thing is principle number 1. We're going to call it principle. Principle number 1 is social currency. Okay? So all of these things that have become viral all have social currency. So let's read it from Burger's words.
Burger.
I love your last name, bro. How does it make people look to talk about a product or an idea? Most people would rather look smart than dumb, rich than poor, and cool than geeky. Just like the clothes we wear and the cars we drive, what we talk about influences how others see us. It's called social currency. Knowing about cool things, like an iPhone, blah, 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 etc., makes people seem sharp and in the know. So to get people talking, we need to craft messages that help them achieve these desired impressions. We need to find our inner remarkability and make people feel like insiders. See my eyebrows?
Whoa.
Serious.
Zoom in, Josh, zoom in.
Major key alert.
Zoom in.
Serious right
See
there.
that?
See that? That's what that means.
Eyebrows on fleek.
Serious business here.
That's what that means.
We need we need to leverage game mechanics to give people ways to achieve and provide visible symbols of status that they can show to others. Let's talk about it. Social currency.
Social currency. Principle number 1.
Principle number 1. So the thing that you want people to talk about should feel cool to talk about. That's what I kind of got from that.
It's like being in the know. Like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I know about this. I'm cool.
It's like,
Let me
oh.
post it on Instagram.
Did you see season 1, episode 1 of that new show, Game of Thrones? That
Right.
shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's all about feeling like you know and the other person doesn't. Or like it's trending. You're like, yo, did you hear about that? Like, nah, you should check it out because it's really like popping.
Yeah, it's popping.
And the more you know that other people are talking about it, it's easy for you to sell it.
Definitely.
And for someone like,
Because it
to
makes you
receive
feel
it.
like you belong. You're
Yeah.
in the know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're a part of it.
Oh, yeah, I watched that show too. I know
heard of
about
it.
that
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
of course.
Definitely.
Interesting.
Team Walking Dead.
And then
Like,
you also have those people
Yeah.
that would say they know and they really don't, but they
Of
don't want
course.
to.
They don't want to
wanna
feel.
admit it because they don't
They
want to
have-
look uncool.
Their
Yeah.
social currency,
Yes, there you go,
social
Dal.
currency consists of fake bills. Okay?
Not cool.
Not
Interesting.
cool. So social currency. Make the thing, whatever that thing is that you want people to talk about, make it cool to talk about. You want people to take pride in knowing your song, or take pride in, spreading the word about your new t-shirt line or whatever it is, right? Social currency.
Something people can attach to.
Attach it to something cool. All right, principle number 2. This one's good. Triggers.
Triggers.
Josh, I'm looking right at you. Triggers. How do we remind people to talk about our products and ideas? Triggers are stimuli that prompt people to talk about related things. For example, peanut butter reminds us of jelly, and the word dog reminds us of the word cat. If you live in Philadelphia, seeing a cheesesteak might remind you of the $100 one at Barclay Prime. People often talk about whatever comes to mind, so the more often people think about a product or an idea, the more it will be talked about. We need to design products and ideas that are frequently triggered by the environment and create new triggers by linking our products and ideas to prevalent cues in the environment. Top of mind leads to tip of tongue. Nice quote, Burger.
Wow, that last line was
You're the man,
crazy.
Burger.
Was a gem.
Wow.
Top of mind leads to tip of tongue. Pause?
Dab.
Yeah, a little pause.
A
but
little
it's
pause,
okay.
Burger. We got to pause you on that, Burger.
Wow.
What do you guys think of that? So, triggers that make us talk about that thing.
I think that's pretty genius.
Yeah.
So,
Subliminals.
yeah, so like you can just something you see almost every day. And every time you see it, it reminds you of the product. That's friggin' genius, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
awesome.
Interesting.
That was
Triggers.
really, really good.
So, we have social currency. Give people a reason to talk about it and make them look cool and feel cool. And then we have triggers, different things in the environment that will remind us to talk about that thing.
Now,
I think a trigger is PR. In our world, it's PR.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the headline for something, whether it's negative or positive, it's a trigger.
Right.
That's true.
in every blog post it. How would that be interesting? Would a trigger on the beat, would it be like a really cool, like, producer name drop, like, just Blaze, or like, yo, the llmind makes it in the beginning
That can be
of the beat. So you hear it and right away they're like, oh yeah, llmind, produced that.
yes.
You know
that's
what
a
I'm
trigger.
saying? So it'll just trigger it real quick in the beginning of the beat.
That's a trigger.
Or like
Did-
if Young Metro don't trust
Yeah,
you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot you. Right, exactly.
That's-
something like that.
we can tie Metro into all 6 of these, by the way.
Or like a logo, like
Social-
the OVO
Yeah.
owl.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Drake.
Right.
Drake,
You know?
trigger.
Right. Trigger.
That's a trigger.
Right
And
away.
then now you're talking about Drake. You're talking about the clothing line. You're talking about the more life. You're talking about this.
Trigger is interesting because trigger can fall into, how we talk about where if you're a producer or you're a brand or you're an artist or whatever, tell me 5 things about your brand right now, like 5 words that describe your brand. So like we talk about Eminem, you think like Detroit, red hair, Marshall Mathers,
Yep.
Dre or whatever that comes to mind. So, it kind of reminds me of that. The trigger
Yeah.
reminds me of the 5 words associated with your brand, where any one of those 5 words can come up and it'll trigger you.
Yep. That'll trigger you.
That's freaking
Yeah.
awesome. I love this.
This is genius.
yeah, it's great.
This is great.
Triggers. Okay. Principle number 3. Emotion. Emotion. Okay.
Want to cry?
Here we go. When we care, we share.
Facts.
Oh, Burger, you're a fucking
Facts.
genius,
Damn, this
Burger.
guy is a one-liner master.
You're a good one-liner
Got
guy.
bars.
Good
word,
job.
exactly.
Good job, Burger. When we care, we share. I hope he doesn't take offense when I say that. When
Good
we
job,
care,
Burger.
yeah, Burger. When we care, we share. So, how can we craft messages and ideas that make people feel something? Naturally, contagious content usually evokes some sort of emotion. For example, blending an iPhone is surprising. Oh, he's referencing a story he told earlier about how there was this company that it was like a blender. It was a regular blender, just like any other blender. And their marketing strategy was that the blender could blend anything. So they did a viral video of like putting an iPhone in a blender and it like mashed it up. But it was like just as powerful as any other blender.
Wow.
But that particular blender became popular because the iPhone thing became a talking point. People were spreading the word.
Smart.
Did you see that blender with the iPhone? It's just crazy. And then they
Social currency.
And then here we go to continue emotion. A potential tax hike is infuriating. Emotional things often get shared. So rather than harping on function, we need to focus on feelings. But as we'll discuss, some emotions increase sharing while others actually decrease it. Ooh. So we need to pick the right emotions to evoke. We need to kindle the fire. Sometimes even negative emotions may be useful. I think that goes back to like triggers and like PR and like, you know, when you know Bow Wow is on a headline for something stupid that he did or cool that he did, if there's an emotion attached to it. You either love it or hate it.
Right.
And it triggers you to talk about it. And now people are talking about Bow Wow. So
It's like bad press is good press.
yeah, just like the Bow Wow challenge. That was crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Again,
stuff like that.
goes back to the saying that people, and we spoke about this on previous episodes, but for those who haven't heard it, people won't remember the words you say, but they'll remember how you make them feel.
How you make them feel?
That's so true.
That's true.
Wow.
And you always walk away with that.
Yeah, that is true.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
I
that.
like this book. I'm gonna get this
Yeah,
book.
yeah, get it. Burger, Jonah
Contagious.
Burger.
Yeah.
It's called Contagious. New York bestseller. A lot of people read it. All right, principle number 4, public. Can people see when others are using our product or engaging in our desired behavior? The famous phrase, quote unquote, monkey see, monkey do, captures more than just the human tendency to imitate. It also tells us that it's hard to copy something you can't see. Making things more observable makes them easier to imitate, which makes them more likely to become popular. So we need to make our products and ideas more public. We need to design products and initiatives that advertise themselves and create behavioral residue that sticks around even after people have bought the product or espoused the idea.
Interesting.
What do you guys think of that?
He says
Imitation.
you need to make it stick.
Yeah, like make
Spread
it
it.
easy to imitate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Like a one like the viral dances and stuff.
The
that
dances
comes
are a
out,
perfect example.
Like on Instagram and all that.
It's saying like, you know, behavioral residue sticks after people have purchased, or in our case, have heard the song. Maybe there's a dance, like you said, associated to it.
Or like when Bobby Shmurda threw his hat up in the air and it never came down, and everyone
Yeah.
was talking about that.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about it because it was compelling. It was like, yo, his hat never came down. And then enough people said it to where the song became a hit.
Yeah.
And then look at Mask Off challenge.
Yeah.
Enough people did it to where more and more people want to do it. And it's like the flute. They're playing instruments. It's fun to watch. It's compelling. And it just became viral. And the result of that was the song going platinum.
Yeah, social media really helps. Or like when DJ Khaled's on Snapchat and whatever he does,
Oh,
everyone's
yeah.
doing
Oh,
it.
did the Drake vocals come in?
Oh, yeah. I guarantee you
plays.
Khaled has read this book multiple times.
He's like, I got it.
Khaled has to write his own book.
He does.
Multiple times.
Please, Khaled, write a book.
Please.
Yo, I would buy that.
Just call it Major Key.
He has.
Yo.
He has a book
Yeah.
called
Come
Major Key.
He does?
It's in Barnes and Nobles. Yeah.
He
has a
does
book.
Like a
actually.
small
You're right.
book.
You're right.
Oh,
You're
he
right.
did
write a
You're
book.
right.
Yeah.
Why did I? Yeah.
Go cop that.
Come on.
He has a book.
You got some competition out there, Jonah Burger.
Nah,
No.
I want to buy his book now
Yeah.
because I definitely forgot
saw
that
it
he came
too.
out with one. I think
Yeah.
it was a while ago. It
It's a
was
while.
sometime
What is it
last
about?
year.
It's just called Major Key. It's about his beliefs and what he
Yeah.
Oh,
values.
I got
That's
it.
dope.
How did I forget
I'm
about
gonna get
that?
it on
That's my
Amazon.
But
next
it's like
purchase.
small. It's like a small, but it's like you can fit in your. It's really.
Oh, it's
good.
like a coffee book.
Yeah, coffee table
yeah.
book.
They have
Dope.
it on like, you know.
Yeah,
like
on Barnes and
Amazon.
Nobles and
I'm gonna get it.
Amazon.
I'm
Yeah.
totally buying that today.
Tight. Definitely. Man, this is crazy. All right. Principle number 5, practical value.
practicality.
So, how can we craft content that seems useful? People like to help others. So, if we can show them how our products or ideas will save time, improve health, or save money, they'll spread the word. But given how inundated people are with information, we need to make our message stand out. We need to understand what makes something seem like a particularly good idea. We need to highlight the incredible value of what we offer, monetarily and otherwise. And we need to package our knowledge and expertise so that people can easily pass it on. So is whatever that thing that's, you know, that people are talking about, is it valuable? You know? How many times have we like put like a homie on to like something that was like cool and valuable? I think this goes back to the drum kits.
Yeah.
You know, like, yo, you get that blap kit, or you
Right.
get that joint, yo, it's dope. Let's
gonna-
trade.
Yeah.
That's where this was coming into play, which is pretty crazy. So value. Is it valuable?
That reminds me of the show Shark Tank. When they
Yes.
like try to pitch their product, it's like, is this really gonna help people? Should I
Yes.
invest in your
Right.
product, or is it just another like copy of something else?
Yeah. Does it save time?
You know?
Does it make life easier? Does it improve health? Stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Think about it. Right? What do you think? Ad?
I really like the towards the end of that where it said, make it easy to pass along. So like if you're selling something or you're pitching something, you got to be. It's called an elevator pitch, where it's literally 3 sentences.
If it's hard to explain, it's hard.
Boom,
Yeah.
That's
boom.
some sales shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 sentences. Boom, boom, boom. It's called elevator pitch. Everyone should have an elevator pitch about themselves. So if someone comes to you and say, "Yo, so what do you do?" "Oh, well, I do a lot, you know."
No, I mean, I like.
"Oh, man, I'm very, like
Multi-talented.
I mean, what you need?
I like
No.
I like
you
eat,
need.
I like eating cereal, and then I like drinking the cereal water
Yeah.
before I go to bed.
So
That was another character right there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to him.
But yeah, so I really, really like that end part where you have to keep it simple. It's even in emails. When you're sending someone
Yeah.
an email, dude, 3
get- no
sentences,
life story.
man.
Don't
Like
do the
you don't
life
need the
story.
whole thing.
Keep it
Yeah.
brief.
And even if you know the person, like you don't have to put a long. An email is just like straight to the point, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. And then if they need to, they'll call you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. So I think the key to that I took from that is having a really strong elevator pitch for your brand.
That's
Yep.
true.
So you can just meet anyone anywhere. They have a minute. Your elevator pitch will take 15 seconds.
Yeah.
You know,
If
it's got to be
if
strong.
yeah.
It's got to
I
be
think
strong.
what I'm getting at from all these things is that at the end of the day, it's got to be interesting enough to talk about. You know, and
And worth it.
worth the time to
Yeah.
even mention. But in order for someone to mention it, it's got to make that person feel a certain way to want to mention it. You know, and he's right. I think that's genius. Like a genius thing that he pointed out was, why do people say things? Like, why do they bring certain things up? Well, it's because they want to look cool.
Right.
Yo, they all connected to each other.
Yeah,
These principles.
they all
Yeah.
connect. You know, like it's crazy. All right, so the last principle is stories. Principle number 6. What broader narrative can we wrap our idea in? People don't just share information; they tell stories. How many times do I talk about stories?
Damn.
Shout to Seth Godin. But just like the epic tale of the Trojan horse, stories are vessels that carry things such as morals and lessons. Information travels under the guise of what seems like idle chatter. So we need to build our own Trojan horses, embedding our products and ideas in stories that people want to tell. But we need to do more than just tell a great story. We need to make virality valuable. We need to make our message so integral to the narrative that people can't tell the story without it. Yeah. So a strong story attached to it. What makes people want to tell it? You know?
You know, when I hear that, I think of vlogging. And I think of, people having a camera or even their own cell phones, just kind of following and showing everybody what they do. And then, you know what the interesting thing is a lot of artists, producers don't even do that.
Yeah, no. They
You
don't
know?
put themselves out there
Because
like that.
they're like intimidated, don't like their body, they don't think it's
Yeah.
cool, they don't think, well, guess what? It is freaking cool.
Yeah.
I like to see what other people are doing.
Hell yeah.
I want to know how they did
Pause.
it. I want to see you do it. Pause.
Pause.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like people don't want to really share because they almost don't feel like they're good enough, honestly.
Right.
They don't feel
You know
like
what?
there's anything cool about it.
And it's a shame because most producers are shy and recluse.
That's
and
so
it's just
true.
that's just the reality
Yeah.
of it.
It's true.
It's the reality of it. Check this out. Let's talk about Ryan Leslie again really quickly,
Hell yeah.
right? Why did Ryan Leslie's Making the Beat videos go viral? Why?
It was public.
Okay, so social currency, right? It made people look and sound cool to talk about it. Yo, did you see that guy Ryan Leslie? Like he made a beat and then he got something in the mail. He ordered a fucking trumpet in the
guy
mail.
went to his house.
Guy went to his house and then he and then he made a beat on the spot. Social currency. Triggers. How do we remind people to talk about our products and ideas? Triggers or blah, blah. Maybe a keyboard. Maybe, maybe at the time it was like Cassie and Diddy, and he was like, a hot producer at the time.
Or like a studio.
Or just how creative he was, like putting shit in cups. And
Yeah, putting shit in cups.
Shakers
This
and
shit, red
And
cup.
like,
Yeah.
the way he was moving.
The way he
and, like, the
moved, and
dances,
with the sunglasses.
he was
and
like super hyped.
Yeah.
He's like, you got excited when you wanted to, I want to go make a beat
wanna
after
do that.
everybody,
Yeah.
everybody wanted to be Ryan Leslie.
Fact.
Many triggers for that. Emotion. Yes, it makes you feel excited when you talk about it.
Because he's excited when he
It was
makes
like, yo, that shit was dope. You ordered a fucking trumpet in the mail. I want to do that too.
Yes.
You're super cool. I want to be like you.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
And I want to tell people.
Yeah, you didn't see it, yo. You got to see this, yo. Check it out, yo. Move, and they show it right on their phone.
And even of him dancing, like you said, like you see
Yeah.
him dancing in the video, and then the music's dope, so it makes you move, and you're like, oh shit, I need to see more of this. Like, when is he gonna do more of this?
Facts.
Public. Can people see when others are using our product or engaging? Yes, it's called YouTube. People saw the comments.
Yep.
It was very public.
Mm-hmm.
They were sharing the link. They were seeing the comments. People blah blah blah. So it was very public.
And even now on Instagram, it's still going.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Practical value. Is the content useful or anything? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it doesn't really directly connect, but it does in a way where, it's like it just kind of shows you like how cool it is. I think there's the coolness factor is really what.
No, but
Well, like-
it does show you too, because it like in some of the videos, especially the YouTube, it shows
it
you
shows
the
you how.
layers.
Right,
Like,
shows you layers.
It'll start with just maybe like a metronome.
You're right.
And then he'll add the chord, and then he'll go in and add the shit this, and then he'll go in and add that. So it actually
It was part educational, low key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I have a cup of pennies too. I could do that.
I
Right.
could do that.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder how many people did the cup of penny shakers. Ryan should brand that shit.
Hell yeah.
Sell that shit at Guitar Center. Ryan, holla at me, 5%. And then stories. Is there a broader narrative? Can people tell the story and keep it interesting? Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting story. It's just R-less on the keyboard with the fucking... This is crazy.
And he talks about like how the music video is gonna look while he's making the music, which
Yeah.
is like even crazier.
Who thinks about that?
Who does that?
He's on another level, man.
It's like twin escalades.
But think about Ryan's like narrative. It's like when you think Ryan Leslie, you think about the keyboard thing. You think about the beat making video, Harvard,
Yeah.
graduated Harvard at a young age,
Right.
Cassie, Diddy, hits, keyboard, R&B singer, cool, always like models
Stylish,
in the videos,
yeah,
stylish, fancy
yeah.
car, private jet. Like this is Ryan's brand.
wow.
Smart guy, man.
He's
Smart
a
guy.
He's a genius.
Smart guy. I hope we get him on the show. Wait, we did already, motherfucker.
Been there.
Whoop, whoop. Did it.
Well, he did say we should do another
We are
podcast
gonna do another
with
one.
this and this and that. So
We're
Yeah.
gonna do another one. We're gonna
He'll
do
be
another one.
back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
It's crazy we didn't even do Black. I mean, I know I said it.
Yeah.
BLAPCHAT Crew. We didn't even do it.
I know,
We're
we'll
just
do it with
going
him.
on. I love it.
We'll do it next time.
Great.
We'll do it next time. We'll be at the podcast studio. It's just
Yes.
lit. I don't know if
Oh.
you guys saw pictures, but
Yeah, I'll start.
we got a little podcast studio. It's gonna be lit.
Get ready.
Yeah. So Contagious. Get this book. It's a New York Times bestseller, written by Jonah Berger. And no, I'm not getting a percentage of this. I actually like sharing cool things.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Quoted by Berger.
And why wouldn't you want to buy a book written by Jonah Berger? Of course you do.
Hey, ill. When you care, you share.
Yes.
Right.
What's the
When
quote
you-
again?
When you care, you share.
when you
When
share,
you
yeah.
care, you share.
Yeah.
Yo,
I care about this.
you care.
course you
yeah,
do.
that's
at
all
this.
It
motivating.
makes
Yeah.
you feel good.
I care about this book.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at this guy. Zoom into his face.
Freaking,
Pause.
It's freaking contagious.
If you see him on the street, thank him, shake his hand, and say, "You are a good human."
You are contagious.
good-
You say, Jonah Berger.
Let me see what it looks like. Ill.
You
Are
are
contagious.
contagious. Oh my God.
Make him blush.
Oh my God! I walked past him today.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure I walked past like 5 different people that, look
like
just
him.
like
All right.
Jonah Berger. So anyway, yeah, shout to Jonah Berger, Contagious, and I think we can apply all of those philosophies to anything that we're doing.
Oh yeah.
Producers, musicians, rappers, chefs, car salesmen,
graphic design.
graphic designers, reasons, Pro Tools,
Any profession.
ill
Creatives.
minds, any profession, you can apply that to. So shout to you guys, shout to Berger. I think it's time for Blabber Crap.
It is.
Yo.
was. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun,
Don't be scared, guys.
Don't be
Hopefully this
shy.
week's
Don't be
good.
shy.
Last week we had cafe vibes.
Last week was cafe vibes, and there
really?
was one blap, and I gave it, but then everyone else gave it
Right.
craps.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was because I just wanted to fit one in there.
He's a nice guy. He's just
I'm a nice guy,
Yeah,
you know.
like I said
So-
before, he was a nice guy.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this blapper crap.
Let's do it.